say make some noise, but I should probably say silence. And Josh will tell you why in a moment. Here it comes. Here he is.
So there we go, guys. That is the brand new Can-Am Outlander Electric for 2026. Now we've got Paul Hannah on there, our ATV stunt specialist. Now we can't obviously do what we want with this quad bike here, but he's going to show you the capabilities, and we're going to talk to you all about the features and benefits of this brand new electric quad bike. Now, as you can see, it is super silent. You can almost hear a pin drop in here. There is no noise other than hearing the tyres going round. Now, this is Can-Am's first battery-powered ATV to come to market, and the first mass-produced ATV to come to market. So as I mentioned, we will be talking to you about the features and benefits of this ATV to come out in 2026. So James is going to start off talking about the engine, or the motor unit, should we say, and the driving system on it, and all the battery system setup.
So as you can see, it's very similar to Can-Am's other machines that got in their range. And that's simply because it is the same chassis, the same design, and they're 500 and 700 models. To be fair, you put them side by side, you change the colour, you wouldn't be able to tell too much difference. But the real differences lie in underneath, in between Mr. Paul Hannah's legs here. We can show you what is under here. So the cameraman will have to come around this side, he'll be able to show you what's under here. Normally you'd have an engine with pistons and cylinders and exhausts, but in this you have a battery power system. So this is actually a Rotax Power E. Now you might recognise the name Rotax because all of Can-Am's petrol equivalents are powered by Rotax engines. This is their battery powered unit, which Josh will tell you some more about how that powers a quad bike shortly. But this is an 8.9 kilowatt hour battery that is under here. And the runtime you can get out of this is up to 80 kilometres on one charge, or in average running you're going to be getting 50 kilometres on one charge. Now I'll tell you a little bit more exciting stuff about how that charges, because I think that's the best bit about this bike very, very shortly. I'm now going to pass you to Josh, who's going to show you how all of the controls work. As you see, Paul is just putting the bike back together. It's very, very simple. Click together and on he goes. Right, so over to Josh.
Right, so if we look in on the LCD screen, we've got a 5-inch coloured screen. This is the first coloured screen to be fitted to a Can-Am ATV, and it tells you everything you need to know about the quad bike. You've got your speed, you've got your run time, you've got your predicted mileage left in the battery, you've got clock, you can change the mode of drive, so I will talk about that again later in this presentation. But as you can see, Paul is flicking through the different options you've got there on the vehicle. There is things like telling you if it's in 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, and what mode the ATV is driving in. Now we have got a special key on this ATV as well, so Paul just takes the key off of the ATV itself. That key is special to Can-Am, that is a DESS key, so that is a signature key that can only start this quad bike. So if you're worried about theft, obviously you can still pick it up and walk off with it, but that key, you cannot use another key in this ATV to start it up. So it's a nice system that Can-Am use on this quad bike. Now on the front of the quad bike as well, we have got signature lights.
So can do you lose that
just
key?
pop the accessory off the front of the ATV itself. So Paul will just start that up. You see we've got nice LED lights, signature lights on the ATV there, which can be turned on and off. And up the top here, we have got what they call a POD light, a pod light. Now that is a status light, that will be on all the time. Think of it as a day running light. Not just for safety, but also tells you the current status of the quad bike. Is it charging? Is it running? Is it in use? So there is a lot of different features on this ATV that makes it really stand out. Other controls we'll talk about as well will be the transmission, the motor unit, and how all that works. Just pop that back on and we'll get Paul going out around the arena again. And I'm going to pass on to James now, who's going to talk to you about the next bit.
Yeah, that's a good question. What am I going to talk about? Right, so just now I said how the most exciting part about this quad bike is the charging and how it charges up. So I'm going to actually ask you, a few of you around the audience, while Paul shows you a bit of a display behind us, about how long you think it takes to charge this from 0% to 100%. So I'm just going to pick on some people. How long do you think it takes to charge that?
6 hours.
I think it's an overnight charge. What about you, sir? How long do you think it takes to charge? 4 hours? The young man?
Could be less than that.
2.5 hours.
Well, this young man here. How long does it take to charge? 3 hours. Always all good guess. You want to have a guess, sir? 4 hours. I think we've got some great guesses here. Very, very relevant. Young man, how many hours? 6 hours. Oh, we've got some great guesses, brilliant guesses. Now, that's the interesting thing about this. As I said, it's an 8.9 kilowatt hour battery in this. Now, in a lot of other products that are on the market, you might think it's going to take all night to charge, a 10-hour charging. With this product, from flat to 100%, you can actually charge this in 90 minutes. Yes, an hour and a half. Now there's a couple of different options on the charging. You've got level 1 and you've got level 2. Level 2 is fast charging, where you can charge this from 0 to 100% in 90 minutes. Or if you've got your battery at 20% and you want to charge it to 80%, it will take just 50 minutes. Now by the looks of some of you out here today, I reckon some of you stop for that amount of time just to have lunch. So you can plug this in over lunch to charge. Now if you want to use it on a slow charge, you've got the other option where you leave it charging overnight completely safely, and that will take from 0 to 100% in 5 hours and 15 minutes on the slow charge. So there's two different options on the charging. Now if you look at that through to a scenario base, if you charge it overnight, you get up in the morning, say you're a sheep farmer, and you go out and check the stock first thing in the morning, you then come back in, have your breakfast at 10 o'clock, you pop it back on charge, you come back in, now Paul comes up the front, I'll show you the charging lead, so you plug it straight into a 3-pin plug, and then charge it with breakfast, come out, use it again, you can then put it back on charge at lunchtime and use it for the full afternoon. And that's if you're using it for over 50k a day. That's some serious people who would need to use that. And then it's got the regenerative braking. Now, if you use an electric car, you will know that your car uses regenerative braking. So when you're not gassing up, it's recharging itself. Now, there's 3 different levels of regenerative braking on this, which also allows charge to go back into the battery. So I'll just show you that charge. And now, of course, just comes along the side. So some of you will recognise if you've got an electric car, very, very similar, just plugs into the 3-pin plug. And that is all you need, and it comes with that as standard. Right, I'll pass you back into Josh now, who will talk about the transmission.
Right, as James mentioned, it's got a Rotax E motor unit which is situated in the middle of the machine and the transmission is on the rear. So that creates an amazing amount of balance on the bike and really does give an enormous amount of feel and comfort when you're driving it. So with no CVT drive, no belt drive on it, and obviously being an electric motor, you haven't got to worry about all that extra servicing costs. So belts, fuel, oil, spark plugs, all that little tension, it's all there, very easy to access, and obviously you haven't got to worry about all that system. You've got different driving modes, so you've got sport, you've got normal mode, and you've got work mode. So if you're wanting quick acceleration, quick throttle control.
This year, all visitors have been gifted a free 6-month digital membership.
Right, I'm trying to carry on. So you've got different driving modes, you've got sport, normal, and work mode. So depending on if you want quick acceleration and quick throttle response, get to that top speed as soon as you can, put it into sport. You've got normal working mode, which is your normal task around the farm, and then you've got your work mode, which is for when you're towing. So what that does is it decreases the throttle response. Think of it as a kind of low gear, it will give you more torque for when you're towing the trailers. Now all those controls again can be changed up on the top there, which you can see on the screen. The other thing we've got built into this is front differential. Now this is automatic. This will flick in and out as and when it is needed. drive on now if you want. Other key features with this bike, as you can see, we've got 14-inch alloys on this one as well, which is special. There's special tyres fitted on there, which are produced by BRP. These are designed to keep the bike at a very low noise, so you haven't got to worry about the noise element, and also the vibrations as well is kept very low. The other huge benefit for these tyres as well is obviously you're not going to have that wear and tear, but still give you added grip. Now Paul's going to show you the different driving modes now, so flick between that. If you want to drive in different gears as well, you've got a shuttle shift up here. We'll just get the camera around and come up the top. Different working modes. A lot of you will be familiar with the Can-Am system, just up here on the gear lever. So you can flick from park, neutral, high and low, depending on the different work modes you need. You've also got a speed limiter. Now the beauty with the speed limiter that is fitted, that is can be changed on the screen. If you are, for argument's sake, using an implement on the back that you want to keep to a certain speed you don't want to go over, so for calibration of sprayers, slug pelleters, all that sort of stuff, you can set your speed or your max speed. When you give it full throttle, it will keep to that speed and not go any faster. The other huge benefit is for inexperienced riders. If you've got someone on your farm that's just started, you don't want them to go to speeding off, you can set your top speed, so everything is kept that much safer. On to you then, James.
Be careful.
Right, so if you just joined us, we have here the brand new Can-Am Outlander Electric, the first worldwide largest production electric quad bike that has ever been produced. And this is coming now in 2026. We have Mr. Paul Hannum, ATV Stunts, riding it round, and in a second we'll be bringing on another special guest who'll be also giving out some freebies for you around the ring, so hang around for that. Some other features we haven't mentioned is the towing capacity is market leading. It's 830 kilograms. Have a look at some specs on other quads on the market and you will really see how impressive that really is. Also, we have a ground clearance of 30.5 centimetres underneath. Yes, 12 inches of ground clearance right the way through the back, which is protected by the skid plates underneath. Right, so I think it's time we now bring on our next very special guest. Yes, we have the one, we have the only, we have Hannah, aka the Red Shepherdess. So here she comes to talk to you all about her fantastic experiences. Look at this, folks. Right, over to Hannah to tell you all about her experiences with Hannah.
So I had the opportunity of going over to Canada and driving this bad boy around for the whole day. Well, I filmed a lot of it to release and launch it, and it was absolutely fantastic. It is, as you can tell, so rapid and so speedy, and I think the biggest shock was when I first kind of put my thumb on the throttle and there's just no delay, like you got off when it is ready. It was absolutely fantastic. But I think the biggest thing that I love the most about it is that when you got on it, it's silent. And when you are in such a beautiful place, you're surrounded by animals and nature, all of a sudden to be able to hear it and not just see it is amazing. It like awakens your senses all over again. So it's so nice to be able to just appreciate that a lot more. We drove it all day long and we never ran out of any electricity. We never had to charge it. It was absolutely fantastic. And we tested it on every single type of terrain that you can imagine. Big, massive, deep puddles of mud, big, tough, steep terrain, rocky terrain, big open fields, you name it, we tried it on it and it was amazing. It ran exactly like your normal quad bike does at home. I've got the Outlander, I've got the Trackster, and honestly, you'd think there'd be a big difference, but it's uncompromising. It's absolutely brilliant.
Right, so I think Josh is going to come around the outside of the ring now and talk to you about pricing to see where you think this lies in the market. So let us know how much you think this quad bike is going to be on the market. Where do you think the price is going to be? Some people are surprised at what price battery machines are. So let's find out and see what you think.
Right, so before we do that, we'll just say that there is a long bit wheel basic version as well, which has got a twin seat. So this is the standard model, the Outlander Electric. There is what they call the Max as well. Now to give you a bit of a hint, there is £1,000 difference between the two bikes. So if we just focus in on the standard bike to start with, what do you think the prices are?
15.
Very close there from the first gentleman. You, sir? Oh, she's lowballing us there. I think that £8,000.
Obviously looking for a deal, I reckon.
What about you, sir?
20,000.
I think you'll be quite surprised, won't you? So that bike, as you see it, is $15,999 inclusive of VAT. The Max version, the twin-seater, is $16,999 including the VAT. Now there is other things we haven't talked about. One being the different accessories you get for this ATV. So at the moment, Paul has got the cargo box in the front. Can-Am produce a range of different accessories for all their ATVs and UTVs, which is the Link Q range. Now for the ATV there is over 120 different accessories. That could be from a gun holder to a bucket that you see on there, and everything in between. So there is a huge multitude of different accessories you can put on the front of the bike. Now, the other thing is if you are a sheep farmer, hill farmer, and you are driving on rough ground, all Can-Am ATVs come as standard with skid plates fitted underneath. So it's a huge benefit to this ATV. Now, warranty-wise as well, we've got 5 years on the battery, or 20,000 kilometres, whatever comes first, and 2 years on the product itself. So a very, very comprehensive warranty on this ATV.
Now, there's two things I haven't mentioned about this bike, and that's heating and cooling. So you might be concerned about regards to what the battery is like in hot and cold temperatures. Now, when it gets hotter, it's actually got a liquid cooling system, a bit like a radiator within this quad bike. And then for colder conditions, it's also got a battery heater, which you can set for those colder mornings to make sure that battery is going to be kept at its optimum level. So now, before we hand out these wonderful freebies, Paul is going to come round now and going to load up.
Where's Arthur?
I think
Where's Arthur?
Under the seat.
he's coming through the gap. Let's get him loaded with these freebies. So if you're around the ring and you're looking for a freebie, you've come to the right place, because you can only get them here. These are personalised ones by the very own Red Chevrolet. Right, so I'm going to pop around the ring now and hand them out.
What we have forgot to mention is obviously there is other features that we haven't mentioned. We haven't got enough time to fit it all in within 20 minutes, but Can-Am are presenting here at Lamma 2026, and they are in Hall 12. They're in Hall 12, so basically if you go straight out here, pretty much turn right and carry on around, you will find Can-Am. Now there is a huge range of staff down there, which will be able to help you out. There is a couple of dealers on the stand as well, so they'll be able to book in a demonstration if you want to talk any further. But I think really the Can-Am Outlander for me and James has been a big surprise. When we had a look at it yesterday, we got on it to start off with. I think we were grinning from ear to ear from the get-go, weren't we? We were overly surprised by how capable this machine really is.
I was grinning from ear to ear after testing it. Now, Can-Am have got a multitude of dealers nationwide that you'll be able to visit, and I'm sure they're going to be stocking this very bike for you to probably even have a demo on. And I do suggest that because it is something very different. When we got on it yesterday, it does make things
Very far at all,
I think very differently compared to a petrol bike. You've got that super silence. You might not be able to think of scenarios, but that's going to be...
No, we're all sat down this side, and she's just done literally a couple of metres that side.
Whether it's in regards to game and game leading. There are so many different uses for an electric quieter bike. Well, I've been James, this has been Josh. Can we have a massive round of applause for Paul going around the ring, and the Red Chevrolet coming on and telling us all about her experiences. We'll be back again tomorrow at 12:20. So it's